What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for the freaking weekend, Saturday, July 13th, 2024. Hope you're doing well. Lovely to see you. How's your summer going? Hopefully, it's not going by too quickly like mine. Mine is blowing by me. Anyway, today we're talking Penn State offense preview. So just kind of a getting acquainted episode with the Penn State offense, who they lost, who's back, how they do last year, what changes have they made. Made a huge change to the coaching staff here. I did Oregon last week, offense and defense separately. If you want to be amused, go back and watch that, any of those. A lot of hilarious comments from Oregon Duck fans. I don't think they took my comedy too well. So sorry, not sorry. But more of the same today. I'm not here to insult these teams. I was not very intimidated by a duck. Who is? Daffy Duck, clown, right? All the duck characters are clowns. So, anyways, that's why I don't find ducks intimidating. Anyway, Nittany Lions, slightly more, especially when they do that round thing in the stadium. Talk about annoying. You do it more, please. Make me mute my TV. Anyway, so we're talking Penn State offense. Let's get acquainted with the Nits, as I like to call them. See you a little later, Nits. James Franklin coming into this season, 88-39 is his overall record. Good, not great. 2023, he was his fifth time he won 10 games in a season. So, okay, it's good for you. Now, let's look at their schedule rankings. I did this with Oregon last week. It was pathetic. 2021, they were seventh toughest schedule. This is according to Phil Steele's rankings. Seventh toughest schedule in the country. Now, 2022, 20th, still respectable. 2023, 60th. So they did a little flipperooski there and got a cushy schedule on 23. And then this year, 49th. So still not that great. But you won't find too many teams in the Big Ten anyways, lower than 49th. There's too many quality opponents, adding in the Pac-12 schools to the fold makes your strength of schedule every year go up a couple notches at least. So looking at their team stats from last year, yeah, passing completion percentage, 60%. It really was all Drew Aller. We know the team average was 215 yards passing, 2.3 TDs per game. Rushing, the team ran for 185 on average per game, 4.7 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns per game. So I put you just right at 400 yards total offense they were averaging per game. And a 5.6 yards per play. Yards per play, yeah. Sorry. So you might not know this, and judging by the stats you haven't, the Big Ten, Penn State led the Big Ten in scoring last year, 36.2 points per game. Did not know that till I saw it in writing, but they still had their struggles versus Ohio State and Michigan, the cheaters. In 2023, Penn State lost both games. They scored 12 versus the Buckeyes, 15 versus the cheaters. That was the only 2 times all season that Penn State scored fewer than 24 points. Things went a little sideways in the middle of the season, and James Franklin finally had enough. Fired OC Mike Yursich, who hasn't, shortly after they lost to Michigan. Now Franklin welcomes in new OC Andy Kotelnicki from Kansas. The Jayhawks had one of the most dynamic offenses in college football in 2023. So the goal is for Kotelnicki to get Drew Aller to play more freely, use quick, short passes and RPOs. So Kotelnicki brings a lot of shifts and pre-snap motions to the offense, and this will be a welcome sight for you Knits fans. Aller was good on rollouts last year, so expect more of that. Kansas also ran a lot of triple option last year, so maybe you'll see that. But two areas that really need addressed on the offense are explosive plays and third down conversions. They were in middle of the country, middle of the pack in the country's rankings there. Returning production, you got 88% returning production. Drew Aller, 2,631 yards last year, 25 TDs, only 2 interceptions, but only a 59% completion percentage. I feel that has to be better. He did have 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Nick Singleton, 750 yards, 8 touchdowns, 26 catches out of the backfield. Katron Allen, the other running back they like to share time with, 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. And their leading receiver returning, Tyler Warren, 34 receptions, 420 yards, 7 touchdowns. So, yeah. Key roster additions, they did add Julian Fleming, wide receiver from Ohio State. He had 26 catches, 270 yards last year. He's a former 5-star from Pennsylvania, so hopefully for Penn State fans, they can rekindle some of that in-state magic. They also brought in Nolan Rucci. He's an offensive lineman from Wisconsin, played 6 games in 3 years at Wisconsin. He was a former 5-star as well. So I don't care about the kicker that they brought in from Tulsa. Nobody does. So looking at Aller, the quarterback room is ranked 16th in the country as a position group. Again, Aller, 2,600 yards, a 6.8 yards per attempt, and 25 TDs, 2 picks. Had a good QBR. Now the running backs, they are ranked second according to Phil Steele's unit rankings in the country. We mentioned Katron. He has just a few catches out of the backfield, but Singleton can really be a guy that they use out of the backfield, and he's dangerous in the open field, of course. So you got Singleton. He's 6 foot 226, had 8 starts in 2022, put up 1,000 yards, and then 7 starts last year, put up to 750. Katron Allen, 5'11", 225. He's a junior. Both are juniors. He had 7 starts and the 900 yards last year. Looking at the receivers and tight ends together, Phil Steele has this group ranked 59th in the country. That's not great. So you got some big questions in the wide receiver core with their top receiver, Keandre Lambert-Smith, transferred to Auburn. That was right after spring, I believe. He would have been Drew Aller's top target once again. In the slot, you got Caden Saunders from the Columbus area, sophomore, 5'10", 176. You're going to see him and Liam Clifford rotate in the slot a little bit. Then at the outside receiver, you got Harrison Wallace. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 196. Coaches are excited about his potential, so he should be more involved in the offense in 2024. Julian Fleming, he's your other outside starter, 6'2", 209, has 22 starts under his belt, played in 38 games, had 963 total offensive or receiving yards at Ohio State in 4 years. So had a 12.2 yards per catch average. So now he will be the main target for Drew Aller. He's only been used as a complementary receiver at Ohio State, so he's not used to being the focal point of the throwing game. So at tight end, you got Tyler Warren, 6'6", 252. He could be one of the best tight ends in the Big Ten this year, so keep an eye out for him. One guy I did want to mention was Omari Evans. He's a junior. He's a real home run threat. He had an average depth of target last season, an average of 20.4 yards per depth of target. So he's running deep routes. Go long, dude. O-line, there's been not a lot of experience in this unit. They lost the NFL first rounder, Olu Fashanu, last year. So Phil Steele has them ranked 34th as a position group. So not great. Like I mentioned, they got some help in the portal with five-star recruit Nolan Rucci from Wisconsin. He'll battle Anthony Donko at right tackle. Donko's redshirt freshman, 6'5", 328, had one start, played 4 games last year. Rucci, the former five-star, 6'8", 305. He's a junior, but has not played much. And then at right guard, you got Sal Wormley. Sal, it's me. Uh, Senior, 6'3", 330, has 13 starts under his belt. He was fourth team All Big Ten last year. Now, these other 3 spots have new guys in them, guys that haven't played them before. You got Nick Dawkins, 6'4", 306. He has 13 games last year, not stars, played in 13 games. Left guard, you got Vega Ione. He is a sophomore, 6'4", 342, has 5 starts, 13 games last year, games played. JB Nelson, he's back and could rotate with Ione. He's a 6'5", 327-pound senior. And then at left tackle, you got Drew Sheldon. He's a junior, 6'5", 306, has had 5 starts in 2022, 1 start last year, but played in 13 games. He was a former 4-star recruit. So that's your 2024 offense for the Nits, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Best player on this team is Drew Aller. I don't think there's any question. But I do want to start doing my favorite players all time. And on offense for Penn State all time, my favorite, I think, has to be Bobby Ingram. Yeah, definitely. Kurt Warner, I like Kurt Warner. Kajana Carter was okay, but I think Bobby Ingram still holds their receiving record. So played in the early 90s. You also got Larry Johnson, son of Larry Johnson, obviously. So he had a good career as a running back. Went a little sideways after he left the NFL, but I'm going Bobby Ingram, best player all time on offense. No, not Kerry Collins. So that's my opinion. Hey, that's my opinion. Anyways, we'll talk Penn State defense in a couple of days. I'll wrap it in here, and well, that's a different story entirely. That's a good unit. That's what she said. Hey, anyways, those are your 2024 Nittany Lions on offense. So I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.